I'm in Class, a Marvel fanfiction written on Hour 3 by Shay Young 26090. The link for this fanfiction will be in the description box below, so I encourage you all to go check it out. Peter was sitting in his physics class. Unfortunately, Ned wasn't with him in this class. Fortunately, he had MJ beside him. Then his phone started to ring. Mr. Parker. Mr. Harrington hissed furiously. Why's your phone not on silent? I had no idea. Peter lied through his teeth. He actually knew how. Mrs. Stark had decided to hack into his phone and disable the silent mode during school hours. You know the rules. Put your phone on speaker, Mr. Harrington said firmly. Everyone looked at Peter pitifully, even Flash. Everyone hated this particular rule. Peter hesitantly took out his phone and cursed inaudibly when he saw it was a video call of all things. He picked up the call and decided to ignore everyone's gasps when a clear hologram projected in front of him. Kiddo, Mrs. Stark exclaimed, smiling brightly. Why you're not here? Isn't today your internship day? The classroom became very quiet. No, Mrs. Stark. It's Thursday, remember? Peter said meekly. I come on Friday and the weekend. No, Mrs. Stark snorted. It's Friday, kid. Peter narrowed his eyes, forgetting about class or his teacher. When was the last time you slept? His mentor smiled, unconvincingly. I just woke up from a 2-hour nap. Friday? Peter asked, eyes not leaving Tony's. Boss last slept 79 hours ago, Friday said dutifully, ignoring her boss's protests. Anthony freaking Stark, Peter shrieked. Oh no, Tony whispered to himself. Are you telling me you haven't slept in the last 3 days? Technically I didn't tell you. Friday did, he trailed off at Peter's furious gaze. You're going to have a bath, then something to eat, and then sleep, Peter said firmly. But I have work to do, Tony protested. My finger is twitching on the contact number that includes the digits 783 at the end, Peter said dangerously. No, Tony exclaimed, immediately catching on. Don't call Pepper. I'll go and sleep. Friday, can you text me once Mrs. Stark goes to sleep? Of course, Mr. Parker, Friday said. Where even are you, kid? Mrs. Stark asked, suddenly. I'm in class, Peter whispered. Tony laughed in response. Good luck answering all their questions, kid. I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever. Bye, Mrs. Stark, Peter huffed. Peter cut the call and sat back down in his place, desperately trying to ignore everyone's eyes boring into his back. Beside him, he could see MJ twitching slightly. What the hell? Everyone simultaneously burst into questions. Peter curled in a little bit on his seat, trying to hide. Quiet. MJ slammed her book on the desk and stood up. You guys have no right to ask questions of him, she said angrily. Weren't you guys the people who constantly bullied him for apparently faking his internship? He isn't obliged to answer to any of you. She picked up her bag and swung it on her shoulder, pulling Peter up as well. We're leaving, she told Mr. Harrington, and then walked out of class, pulling Peter with her. Thank you, Peter said, rubbing his ears. No problem, loser. MJ smiled lightly at him.